Did you know that infants and young children who are given even just one round of antibiotics are at a higher risk of not just autoimmune disorders like asthma and allergies later on in life, but also neurodevelopmental disorders like autism and ADHD? Parents, if you've got young children right now, or if your child was placed on antibiotics within the first couple years of life, you're going to want to watch this video all the way through so you can learn all about the short and long-term side effects of these powerful medications. And most importantly, what you can do to help your child heal and recover naturally from all of the negative consequences of antibiotics. Not only is more and more research coming out every single year showing us the dangers of antibiotics in kids and how still today, despite decades of knowledge, pediatricians, urgent care centers, and other conventional medical systems continue to overprescribe them at truly pandemic levels. But we also see early exposure to antibiotics as one of the 3 most common factors or ingredients of what we call the perfect storm. The path to autism, ADHD, anxiety, autoimmune disorders, and other chronic illnesses in kids today. So when we talk about what can happen with antibiotics, let's talk about a couple of the increased risks that are possible. There is an increased risk of autoimmune disorders like asthma and allergies. In children, excessive use of antibiotics has been linked to a higher risk of developing conditions like asthma, allergies, and obesity. This is thought to be due to the impact of antibiotics on the developing immune system and gut microbiome. When we talk about the increased risk of neurodevelopmental challenges like autism and ADHD, antibiotic use may also be interfering with the gut-brain connection and the production and absorption of important neurotransmitters such as dopamine and serotonin, which are essential for higher brain function, cognition, emotional regulation, and much more. We mentioned the disruption of the gut microbiome. Antibiotics can disrupt the natural balance of the gut microbiome by killing both harmful and beneficial bacteria. This disruption can lead to gastrointestinal issues like diarrhea, and in some cases, more severe conditions like Clostridium difficile, or C. diff, infection, which can cause severe colitis. Now, this is probably one of the more common things that people see with antibiotic use because even adults get some of these symptoms, especially after they've had a severe antibiotic or a more potent antibiotic, or they've had to have it multiple times in a row. You will notice some changes with your digestion and gut health, and that's usually where some people recommend a probiotic. Now, let's talk about some of the allergic reactions. While allergic reactions to antibiotics are not common, they can occur and range from mild skin rashes to severe and life-threatening reactions like anaphylaxis. Individuals need to be aware of their allergies and inform healthcare providers about any past reactions to antibiotics. Most of us have come into a situation where we know what we may or may not be allergic to with an antibiotic. That can change over time. Generally, though, no one will try to put you on an antibiotic if you've had an allergic reaction to it in the past. Then there's antibiotic resistance and development of secondary infections. This is where the overprescription of antibiotics comes into play. One of the most significant risks of antibiotic overuse is the development of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. When antibiotics are used excessively or inappropriately, bacteria can evolve to become resistant to these drugs, making infections harder to treat and leading to increased medical costs, prolonged hospital stays, and increased mortality. Overuse of antibiotics can also lead to the development of secondary infections. For instance, antibiotic use can sometimes lead to an overgrowth of resistant organisms like methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, or MRSA, as you've heard before. Here's what happens. We put in an antibiotic to kill this certain bacteria that's overgrown, which is great. But if we overprescribe this and constantly kill those, bigger, stronger bacteria are going to come in to replace it. If we don't try to get that gut microbiome, if we don't try to get the nervous system and the immune system functioning correctly again, then we get stronger bacteria that we don't have things to kill. So, or it takes a lot bigger of an antibiotic to kill those things, and then we kill a lot of healthy stuff in the process. It's a global health threat. The overuse of antibiotics is a health issue. It contributes to the rise of superbugs, bacteria that are resistant to most or all available antibiotics, posing a severe threat to global health security. So again, we want to make sure that while antibiotics will always continue to be a life-saving in emergencies and when used appropriately, families who are under regular chiropractic care at Generations Chiropractic now have a safe and natural way to help support the body's own defenses against viruses, bacteria, and infections. Parents continue to report to us how getting their kids regularly adjusted and living a healthy lifestyle has led to far less sickness and illness, and their kids are getting over colds and other respiratory challenges much faster and much easier after getting adjusted. If you're looking for a way to put antibiotics as a last defense instead of the standard first option, like so many pediatricians still do today, then switch your batting order of providers and get started with us here at Generations Chiropractic by visiting the link in our bio to learn more, commenting below, or sending us a DM.